When you're suffering from pain or injury, Orange County's premier provider of physical medicine is HQ Unlimited. Using a natural and holistic approach, our active release techniques, physical therapy, and rehab alleviates aches, pains, and injury without pain pills or surgery. We accept all PPO insurance plans, Medicare, and private pay. HQ Unlimited, your personalized and comprehensive patient care.
Well, Matt Rhodes is with us right now from HQ Unlimited. You just saw that spot and see all the different things that they offer over there. I'd like to welcome you.
Thank you,
Great
Ken.
to have you
Thank
on today.
Appreciate it.
And we're going to get into talking about the therapy pool in just a moment, because we had a gentleman on not long ago that talked about that. But give us an overall background of HQ Unlimited.
Sure. The company started about 10 years ago with Dr. Paul Addison, who's a doctor of physical therapy.
Okay.
He had a thriving physical therapy business out of Laguna Hills, I believe it's where it started. And as a driven entrepreneur, but also a very technical physical therapist who wanted to provide better care for his patients, which is what ended up happening and why he became so successful, because he was a sought-out physical therapist from a lot of orthopedic doctors in the area because of the specialized treatment that he gives. We'll talk about it later, but it's called ART, stands for Active Release Techniques. That's what started HealthQuest Physical Therapy. He wanted to get to a higher level of care for his patients and basically provide better outcomes. I mean, what doctor doesn't want the best outcomes, right? That's what he did. And over the course of 7-8 years, he developed that business and that patient population and the reputation, if you will, amongst the orthopedic community, and eventually became a well-established physical therapy business that was found all over gyms and different orthopedic practices all over the place, right? So he was treating these injuries. I happened to be one of those at one of the gyms, one of our local gyms, a CrossFit gym, and that's when him and I met. I have a history, about 25-year history in real estate and obviously business transactions. With that experience and an interest in the medical industry and rehabilitation specifically, and meeting Paul, when he provided some of his care and a specialized treatment on me, I saw a business opportunity that I didn't feel I could pass up. So what we did was we kind of put our heads together and said, what's the next step after a well-established, thriving physical therapy clinic? Well, it's integrating it with medical components and other types of treatment that complement that rehab, that whole rehab. So HQ Unlimited was born. It was about 3 years ago. We moved into our facility in Aliso Viejo, and we've been there ever since and continuing to grow our population. And that's why we want to keep it exposing ourselves to our local community.
And you have all kinds of therapies, and of course, we're going to talk in just a second about the HydroWorks pool.
Sure.
But
Absolutely.
It goes beyond that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it goes well beyond that. To stay on point for as far as the branding message is concerned, I'll give you exactly the way we brand HQ Unlimited in all of our media and our print. This is how we like to describe HQ Unlimited. We provide advanced medical care for pain-free living. We deliver a system of care using treatments that complement each other and give you the best chance at full functional restoration with no drugs or surgery. So remember, that's the key. We raise the bar on the standard of care by treating orthopedic injuries sooner and more effectively. Delivering this advanced medical care coupled with the ART, specialized physical therapy treatment, our regenerative therapy program, and the only clinic underwater treadmill, HydroWorks, which is, again, who you've already seen here, in Southern California, surprisingly, in a clinic setting. And that's what makes HQ Unlimited absolute best choice for rehabilitation.
So as far as what you provide, how do you come about getting your patients? Are they going through their own physicians first and you're recommended? Can
Interesting.
anybody walk in there?
Very
How
interesting.
does all that work?
Well, honestly, Ken, the idea here and probably the best message that I want to relay about HQ Unlimited is that we're out there trying to change the hearts and minds of the general population and the folks that should be coming into our facility. We reach out mostly to the community.
Okay.
We used to door knock on orthopedic physicians, but oftentimes it goes against their process and the way they get referrals from family practice doctors for orthopedic injuries and you name it, and then they're wanting to take over the care and eventually, provide the surgery for them.
Right.
What we're trying to do is figure out if there's any alternative at all out there, or all of them, before they can get to surgery, before they have to go
Right.
to surgery. That's what we're trying to provide. And what we want to do is reach out to the community and let them know before they go get a referral from their family practice doctor to go to the orthopedic doctor and get the potential recommendation for
Right.
surgery. Let's exhaust our efforts in every aspect of alternative medicine and all of our normal standard of care procedures and figure out how to get to the point where you're avoiding that surgery.
Okay.
Last resort.
All right. The HydroWorks pool, as
Sure.
you know, a while back, I think we had Rick on and talked about this. So give us kind of an overview of that, because it is something, as you said,
Yeah.
it's unique in your setting, although from what I understand, it's used by a lot of sports facilities
It is.
and things like that.
It
right?
is. Well, another motto or idea that we like to go by is that every human being deserves the level of treatment that an elite athlete is getting. That's kind of what it
Yeah.
is. So HydroWorks, in a sense, or the underwater treadmill that we have, is actually, it's not a norm. It's actually out of the ordinary for any clinical setting. It's mostly found in large institutions like
Right.
USC and UCLA and UCI, and that's where these pools are usually put because for training,
Right.
but more importantly, the rehabilitation for injured athletes.
Right.
And of course, it gets them out on the field quicker, it gets them on the court quicker. That's the idea. And it's
Yeah,
not just the
exactly.
idea, it's actually exactly what happens. The restoration happens a lot faster. And that's what we're trying to provide in every aspect of our clinic. We want them to get healed faster, get rid of the pain quicker, get them healed faster, and get them back to full restoration quicker. And more effectively. So the HydroWorks story is basically Rick, the one who we did a joint venture with on this HydroWorks pool, was a patient of ours.
Okay.
Okay, so he came in. He was getting treatment by Dr. Paul and our other staff, our medical staff, and he saw how we had. It was a different concept for him. He's an athlete from the teenage years. He saw the concept of our service center model with all of these different modalities, these different forms of treatment that complemented each other in helping people heal more optimally and faster. So he looked at that and said, and he had a history of dealing with some underwater treadmill in the equestrian world.
Right,
of
that's what I remember him telling me.
something to that
Yes.
effect. And that was his story. So he looked at our program and said, there's one thing that might be missing in terms of a modality that would probably be one of the most effective in all of this process, especially for any of the lower extremity injuries, hips, knees, ankles, or even your back, right? Because you want
Right.
to reduce that weight bearing factor in your healing process, but you want to maintain the same gait.
Right,
You want to
exactly.
maintain the same range of motion. Well, the aquatherapy is amazing. Everybody loves aquatherapy typically
Right.
when they're recovering. But now you introduce the treadmill and the jets and in a whole different idea of the way it's working, and you keep that normal range of motion in a walking fashion, or a normal gait as they call it. That's what he saw as one of the higher levels that he could add to this service center model.
Right.
And so between Paul and myself, Dr. Paul, and myself, being the entrepreneurial folks that we are, and also wanting to improve our patient care all the time. We want to improve it every day if we can. Rick's idea of adding HydraWorks to the center was a perfect idea. It was absolutely perfect.
And we just showed it on the screen how
Sure.
that works and all. So going back to people coming to HQ Unlimited,
Yes.
what is covered by if they have certain kinds of insurance, if they have Medicare or something?
So-
and how would they go about it?
Yeah.
If you do accept.
So
things like
first,
that?
first and foremost, it's very simple. Most of the services that we provide, simply put, are covered by insurance.
Okay.
PPO insurance across the board, and Medicare. We're a Medicare provider. For any HMO patient or cash-paying patient, we want to be able to provide this high level of care to everybody. So we work with folks on the discounted cost for cash or payment plans.
Okay.
You name it. So we can work with those patients, but for the most part, everything that you're looking at is covered by insurance, except for some of the things that are there's alternative medicine factors like regenerative therapy. We're doing stem cell amniotic fluid injections.
Okay.
And platelet-rich plasma, which is basically a growth factor injection that's helping that tissue actually regenerate.
Okay.
And it's amazing in the process of healing. Absolutely amazing.
Well, you folks are located not far from here.
We are
Sevilla Hill?
less than 3 miles.
All right. So
Right down the street from all the Laguna Woods residents.
not very far at all.
Nope.
And the
Walking
website is hqunlimited.com, very easy. And the main phone number is 949-388-3131. So give them a call if it's something that you think you can benefit from. And Matt or anyone over there can help you out and get you started.
Great.
All right.
Thanks,
Nice to
Ken.
meet you.
Appreciate
Pleasure.
it. Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.